Hello there, and welcome back to the Aztecs. Well, last time we solved our overextension issues, but as a reward, the Spanish decided that, well, it's time that they declare war on me. So we'll have to deal with that. There are currently a 32,000 or 33 when they are fully charged, as it were. Army currently marching up towards me. There's a 15,000 army just chilling down here. So we'll have a very interesting time when they actually get here. It will be very much interested to see if we can actually find them back or not. I'd put my money on not, so we'll have to see how it turns out. We'll also just continue colonizing and otherwise prepare for another war against England. Probably try to get ourselves in an alliance with the French and possibly getting ourselves back to the continent. We'll have to see how that goes. But for now, we'll focus on fighting the Spaniards, and once we actually get a battle, I'll get back to you. Well, the Spaniards were nice enough to actually leave a 1,000-man artillery unit in Unami, and of course that makes things a little bit interesting because, well, it means I can kill them off fairly easily, and apparently I'm sending an army over to where I do not want to. The Spaniards are compensating down here, so I'm very tempted to send my 30 or this unit down to Alcabapan, or how it's actually pronounced, to try and fight them there. If we get a mountain modify, we'll have some problems with our artillery, but we'll give it a go. Potentially, we will be able to fight them back there. As you can see, the war score doesn't actually matter it doesn't really matter much at all. Mostly due to the fact that, well, it doesn't really matter. I have actually a ticking war score due to the fact that I've actually won enough battles for some weird way. But if I can get myself down to Ortega here, or I guess one of these areas, probably Guatemala or Zapotec, even Mixtec, if I can actually fool them into fighting me there, I could potentially get myself some very good bonuses that could definitely help out here. But for now, we'll just keep on hiring some cannons of our own, and if I can lure them down to Ortega and do a decisive battle there, we might actually get the war score we need to win this, or concede defeat down the line, as it were. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm also back at 0 stability, so that's good. But of course now the Spaniards are, well, smelling blood, as it were, and have decided to start marching up on their own. We'll make a stand over here over here more or less. I'll hire as many men as I can, and we'll see if we can win this. This is also something, or when the English patriots are actually sieging Korea, I don't actually care. But for now, we'll just get rid of them before I forget it. The army can suffer. It will suffer because I can't sacrifice that much manpower. But as you might imagine, I'll most likely end up having to renounce most of the lower lands here, Cajamarca, Chan. But of course, it actually gives overextensions. I can't actually take too much. But we'll have to see how it turns out. For now, they are marching their armies up north here, and there's 30,000 Spaniards, and yet they're not actually suffering any attrition at all, which is horrible. Well, as far as I can tell. But if we could actually get an army down here now, beat this one, then march after it, so to speak, if we are lucky to actually pull that off, we might actually be able to win this still. So we'll have to see how it turns out, and if we are lucky, we might get the win we're after here. So the Spaniards attack, and as you can see, they'll most likely slaughter us. They do have a fairly good general here, 5-4. 1-2 ain't actually going to cut it, but as you can see, we are getting slaughtered. But we did at least cause some damage to them, 8,000 men. Won't really help in the long run of things, and we have basically put ourselves in a very bad position here. We'll most likely lose. So it's very tempting to just go ahead and, well, try and get, or it could potentially still be salvageable if I hire some units, or if I had some units to hire in this area. I could of course mix in this army with where it actually lands, and that could actually be enough to win the second battle here. But I'm still not actually convinced that we can turn this around. So for now, we don't actually have too much else to do. Just land, accept fate, I guess. So we'll see how how the second battle turns out, if we are lucky or not. Once again, this is kind of the incompetent diplomacy. This is one of the more interesting things. As you can see there, my units were suffering attrition, but theirs wasn't, even though they were clearly hunting me down, but they weren't actually suffering for it, which is also kind of weird. But we are moving faster than them, so that's at least a positive thing. I'm kind of pretty sure that these guys will actually they'll get wiped. So we'll see if we can win this. We'll probably have another month before they reach us, so potentially we could do this, but potentially we could also get even more screwed. So I'm really kind of uncertain if I should actually just retry, or if I could, I would probably have given up a. If it was year 3, I would have given up a vote here to not take the amazing, extreme amount of overextension that I did and try again. But as you can see, my armies are getting crushed even with their negative modifiers. They are rolling some pretty good dice rolls though, so that's probably it. But this war is definitely lost. I can of course try and bribe them with the lands down here, see what they actually want. What do they actually want? They have the 2 promises that they actually want, but they still won't actually give up anything, or they won't actually give me the peace deal. So we'll simply have to wait and see. Might actually, let's see, can I actually bribe you with gold? Nope. So we'll simply have to wait and see what they actually want here. But for now, not really much we can do at all. We'll just keep on colonizing and try and stay out of too many battles. We'll see how it goes. The Spaniards actually attacked me with a smaller army and suffered for it. And also, as you can see, they have actually split or started splitting up their army. So with this, I can now actually, if I'm lucky enough, turn the war around, as it were. Simply because of the fact that I'll be hunting down these smaller units, and its war score is actually given through, or in battle. So I'm actually picking up the deficit here, and could potentially get myself back at full strength if I am lucky and if I win enough battles. They have actually split up their armies up here as well. So if I hit them basically when they aren't actually united, I could potentially inflict some war attrition on them, or attrition basically, war exhaustion, and potentially win this. But I'll have to win this one and that one, and that is actually pretty unlikely. But as you can see, we are fighting back, so that's at least a very positive thing. And if we win this battle, then we might actually be able to turn things around. But we of course get a crossing negative modifier. So we'll have to wait and see. But for now, things are definitely looking better. We'll have to just continue trying, and if we can pick up the Spanish units like this, then we might actually be able to once again turn this around. Let's just see a wipe of a Spanish army. That actually gives quite a lot of war score. Battles is probably ours right now, or we're doing the most positive. So if I am to actually go down here, start hunting down these, well, smaller, the siege actually, or the fact that they have sieged most of these lands, don't actually matter at all. So if I am to go down south now and kill off, well, these small armies here, then we might actually turn this around. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, I will get a lot of war exhaustion through these months, but we'll just have to try and see if it works or not. If we are lucky, we'll actually be able to force them to give up some, or maybe even just give up a province or 2. We'll have to wait and see how it turns out, how many units I can actually snatch down. Things just went from bad to worse here. We have the English declaring war on us, but at the very least, as you can see here, the Spanish army is pretty damn shattered, and as a direct result of that, we can now start causing some severe damage to them, and that should definitely be helpful here. If we are actually to win a couple of battles, we will be able to turn this war around, and of course, then if we have 60,000 units to fight the battle against the English, as long as we don't actually succumb to overextension, or not overextension, but rather, how should I put this? As long as we stay clear of the, let's see, I want to arrive at the next month, so there we go. So yeah, as you can see, if I'm actually to be able to snatch off some of these smaller armies and actually defeat them in battle, then we can definitely turn this around simply because of the amazing amounts of war score you can get from this. I'm a little bit unsure if we can actually win or concede defeat this way, but I kind of doubt it. I really do. So let's see, we'll clear offer, suggest offer. What do we want? We want apparently a lot of things, but I will not be giving you those things. So we'll clear that. Concede defeat. I have no idea what's only 7% or 8% here, but as you can see, we are definitely making gains. So if we actually defeat these 3 armies here, I think that's actually enough to turn this battle around. And of course, if we then screw over England as well, we'll probably be ready for warfare then. The only problem is, as you might imagine, once again, the war exhaustion will be going through the roof pretty quickly. I don't actually have the diplomatic power to turn that around. But for now, we'll allow this army to reinforce, and then we'll go after this one. It's actually wow, that's a very weird army composition. And of course, I did now get a Regents Council, And of course it's probably, yeah, it's crappy as hell. The air is crappy as hell as well, but at least he has a diplomacy value. But once again, as I said, this is a very strange army composition, because it should get slaughtered like that, and it actually did. And it will of course retreat into the Spanish area here, right here. So we can simply destroy it pretty much straight away, and we'll also destroy this, and most likely that army. So yeah, I do might actually sound a little bit too excited, but let's just face it, we will most likely get away with not losing anything against the Spanish here. Once again, because of their, well, stupidity. To be honest, that is only the way to actually say it. And let's see here, battles 8. Well, we are actually maxed out in battles, so that's kind of bad. But we are close again, so as long as we just keep on being a little bit obnoxious, destroying their armies, and once we start doing the same to the English, then we should definitely be able to start fighting them as well. Going to Europe is probably the next war against the English will be in Europe. I can almost bet on it. But for the time being, we'll just continue with trying to kill off the Spaniards and hopefully get ourselves a peace deal here. Let's see, how good are those pretenders? How good are you? You are a 324. You've been found wanting. Hopefully he'll get to Mexico soon, because if not, then that war will last forever. Let's see, are you guys actually willing now to? Well, they are close, so we'll simply have to wait a little bit longer. But let's put it this way: now we can start focusing on the English, and with that, we are definitely we're definitely safe. We'll keep everything once again, and we'll also go ahead and take next level military attack just because it's actually necessary. Combat width increased by 2, infantry fire by 0.5, enable the swivel cannon, and I can now build a star bastion. Wow, a lot of things. It probably wasn't necessary, but we need to keep not too far behind of the Spanish. So we do have now, well, we are 1 tech behind them. So we'll probably focus a little bit more on the, how should I put this? We'll focus a little bit more on the ideas next time, or next time we have enough points. But we should actually win this battle, although we are suffering a lot of losses. These are mercenaries, so it doesn't actually affect me at all. I did actually get a little bit of war exhaustion, which is kind of weird. It's a mercenary army, it shouldn't actually get that. But yeah, we'll go ahead here and re-siege that one. We'll also, of course, allow our army to reinforce. And with that, we should be able to get rid of the English sooner rather than later. So we'll see how this all turns out. But for now, we'll also go ahead and siege this one, because apparently that is where these guys will most likely run. So we'll see how it turns out, but I'm pretty sure that we'll actually win this war against both the English and also the Spanish. And we have the Spanish gone. Yes, I do call it a victory. Well, what did I actually send to them? Aztec will concede defeat. Yeah, I'll do that. I can agree to concede defeat. We'll also send these guys to re-siege Manhattan. And with that, we can now probably actually join everyone up again. That is horrible. Let's see. We'll send. You have been chosen to fix Manhattan. You guys will be sent to chase down this army. It'll probably run up there. Probably not. Might even. Well, we'll just chase it there and figure out where it's going. But the English do have some troops right now, but not really enough. And I can even send their 60,000 mercenary army to England before the next war. And that should actually be enough to win me the war purely through mercenaries. I actually have almost full manpower. So in 5 years' time, or once this truce is over, we'll go to England. We'll make... Well, we'll probably... Some more pretender rebels, good. As I said, I want these pretender rebels to win for the pure purpose. Wow, that's very bad. So the Spaniards have actually colonized the western parts here. That is of course very bad. I need to block them off here then, so they can't actually get anywhere or get anywhere longer in. But nothing really to do with that. We'll simply have to accept the fact that they have been colonized a little bit more than enough. Mostly due to the fact that I screwed up twice now. But yeah, I am learning a lot. But at the very least now, I'm pretty sure that we can deal with the English. And because of that, we'll also be able to... well, win this war and thus be able to get what we want here. The pretender rebels are winning that siege, which is good. It'll actually take forever before they actually are done with this, but as long as they have 71 chance of rising up, I can only hope that they rise up close to, well, it's actually not even a remote chance that it might rise up close to Mexico. So I might actually just end up killing him off. We'll have to see. But for now, we'll deal with the English, as I said, and then we'll consider what we'll do. So we'll see how it goes. So apparently there's a ton of pretender rebels right now, so it looks like we'll get our new king pretty soon. Shouldn't actually be a problem. It's actually the first time that I have a country this big try to fall to pretender rebels, so will be a good learning experience as well. Shouldn't take more than the 5 years that I expect that it would take to, well, get ready for the next war against either Spain or England, depending on who we choose. And also, as you can see, we are winning our war against the English. I can't actually have too many, well, mercenaries for this war to actually matter. And I should potentially now also start focusing on trying to rebuild my army, just for the sole purpose of actually having some regular troops around. So I guess we'll just get started with that. Build a 16k army. Or yeah, 16k. I'll build with just right away. I guess my composition will be, let's see, what did I build? A 8 to 6 apparently. So I'll probably upgrade that as time goes by. But that'll be our first army, and I'll probably build 20k armies in the long run. Probably 12 to 6, I guess. Something along those lines. Probably some 10 armies too to back up in battle. But for now, we'll just deal with England, try to get them to back off. No real reason for either of us to actually continue, but the war will last a while simply because of their stubbornness, and of course the core construction will then take even longer. So nothing really to do with that, or no real reason to. Or let me just begin. There's nothing I can do with that. We'll simply have to wait. I can't get my troops to Europe due to the fact that England has a very huge fleet. The only thing that I can do is just focus on trying to siege some of their colonies, and then that's it. That's the best I can do right now, and we'll probably just give that a go. And it won't actually give any real war score. We'll simply have to wait it out and see if we can re-ally with the do I actually have some re-ally with the French once we are done. So, thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, praise criticism, anything you feel like, and we'll continue fighting England next time. I'll see ya. Bye.